Hey guys, my name is Ariana Rose. Welcome to my channel Be Transpired. This is my Taylor Swift inspired makeup tutorial. So if you want to see how to look like T Swift, then just keep watching. Hey guys, I've already cleansed my face and I'm going to moisturize with MAC Mineralize Charged Water. This is a really nice lightweight just moisturizer. It's super smooth and silky and not too heavy so you can wear it underneath your foundation. Don't forget to bring it all the way down your neck because it needs some moisture too. Now I'm going to go and moisturize my lips with Josie Maran Argon Lip Treatment. I like this stuff. It's not my favorite, but it does the job well. Then going in with Cover FX Anti-Age Smoothing Eye Primer. I'm just going to place that underneath my eye. This just helps with my concealer. And then I'm going to prime my lid with MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And I'm just going to blend that all over my eyelid with my fingertip. And I'm going to focus most of the product right by the lash line through the crease. Now going in with Bobbi Brown Sand Tortoise Shell eyeshadow palette. That is a mouthful. I'm just going in with a large fluffy brush in that warm brown color, blending it all the way through the crease. Then I'm going to highlight with that white shade right underneath the brow bone. And then I'm just going to go back in with a clean, big blending brush. And I'm just going to make sure those colors are nice and blended together. Now going in with that more rosy tone color, I'm going to place that through the crease, but right below that warmer shade. I just want to give a little bit more dimension to the eye. Now going in with that cool brown grayish shade, smaller fluffy brush so I have a little more precision with it. I'm going to place that right underneath that rosy color directly in the crease. And I'm just going to build that up until it gets to the shade I want, but I do want the shadow to be all around softer. Now going in with that sparkly gold shade, I'm going to place that all over the lid with the big fluffy brush. I'm just going to pat that. I don't want to go too high. I'm keeping it pretty low on the lid and doing a little bit in the inner corner as well, which I will intensify later. Now I'm just going to go back and blend those shades out, just making sure that it looks exactly how I want it to. Now for the eyeliner, this is Signature with T Swift. So I'm just placing the liner brush going from the inner corner to the outer corner. And I do really like this eyeliner. It's really, really easy to use. Now for the shape of the wing with Taylor Swift, she normally does it more standing up on the outside corner. So I made it go up a little bit rather than out, if that makes sense. I don't want it to be too straight. I want it to be a little bit more lifted. So I'm just going to draw that line and then connect them together and then just build it up until it's the thickness that I want. And I'm just going to keep adjusting it until it matches the other side perfectly. Then just going in with MAC Extend Play Giga Black Lash, I'm just going to put that right at the root of my lashes so it blends with the eyeliner, but I'm going to go in with falsies, and these are Flutter lashes from Emily. And I'm just going to do House of Lashes glue and place that right along the lashes. Let it cool down for a bit, let it dry a little bit so it's tacky. And then I'm just going to place that from the outer corner first, and then I'm going to just sort of inch its way in into the inner corner, and it helps to look to the opposite side so that way the lash strip is nice and tight on your lashes so you don't get that like crumpled look when you close your eye. And then just go back over with your eyeliner, and that just helps to conceal any of the glue and just like further blend the eyeliner so it looks nice and defined and put together. Now it's time for foundation, and I'm using Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation and my Sephora number 56 Pro Airbrush brush. And I'm just going to place that, obviously, all over my skin. And I'm just going to build it up in the areas where I need a little bit more coverage, which is through the center of the face. I like this foundation. It's definitely better if you have normal to dry skin. It's very liquidy. It gives a light to a light medium coverage. And I just like the glowiness and the skin-like finish that it has. And as I've said before in other foundation tutorials I've done, you just want to make sure that you're going with the hair growth on your face. So you want to make sure that you're going down on the cheeks just to lay all those little fuzzies down so they're not out in the open and looking all fuzzy. And you want to make sure that you're blending it into your hairline. And if your face is a little bit lighter than the rest of your body and you're trying to blend a slightly darker foundation into your skin, make sure that you're blending it a little bit into your ears, down into your neck, and to the
back of your ear, right underneath your earlobes. Then I'm just going to go over with a beauty blender, make sure everything is nice and blended together. Helps to take off any excess product too if you tended to be a little heavy-handed. And now I'm going in with Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla, and I'm just going to use that to brighten and conceal my under eye. And instead of using a beauty blender, I'm going to use my small concealer airbrush brush from Sephora. And I use this when I want a little bit more coverage. I haven't gotten enough sleep, so my under eyes are extra dark. So I'm just going to use that to blend everything out and to really build up that coverage where I have a ton of darkness. Then going in with MAC Studio Finish Conceal Palette in Light, I'm going to take that NC20 color and I'm just going to use that around my mouth and my nose where I generally need a little bit more coverage. You can add this to whatever areas are of concern to you and you want a little extra coverage. So I'm just going to go in and build up that product with that same concealer brush. Then I'm going to set my under eyes because I absolutely have to. My concealer will be all over the place and off my face if I do not set it. So I'm just going to set it with a light powder, and I believe I use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, which I like to give like a soft highlight. Then I'm going to go back in with that goldish color that we used on the lid and a pencil brush. And I'm just going to bring that on the inner corner and then sort of drag it along that lower lash line. That's what's going to really brighten up the eye. Then I'm going to take that taupey sort of shimmery shade and bring that on the outer corner, blend it in with that gold shade. Then, of course, mascara on the bottom lashes, which you cannot forget. Always pulls the whole look together, and I always use my extended plate from MAC, which you saw me use before. Now I'm going to bronze with MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Medium. I chose this because Taylor Swift, basing this look off of her, she doesn't really usually have a sculpted super bronze look, and this is just a really soft shade since it is a foundation powder, just slightly darker than my skin tone. So I like to do this when I want a slight dimension to my skin but not too much color. Then going in with the Zoeva blush in Gentle Touch, and I'm using a duo fiber for this because I want it to be a lot softer. I don't want a super heavy blush. I just want it to look like I'm glowing from within, and that's when I go for those duo fiber brushes. I feel like they do a really good job at that. And I'm placing it more on the higher points of my cheekbone just to give that really lifted, bright look. Now going in, same exact brush, Laura Mercier highlighter. I absolutely love this. It's so pretty. And I'm bringing this on the tops of my cheekbones, but I'm also blending it into that blush that I just applied. So it gives like a really pretty, like shimmery, pinky, just glow to my skin. And I'm going to highlight a little bit on my nose and my chin. Now for my lips, trick I like to use for doing the Cupid's bow area is just doing 3 points. The center and then the 2 on the top, and then I just connect those together, and that just helps give you a nice even lip and draws a nice guideline. Then I'm just going to connect that top to the corners, and I'm trying to make my lips look a little bit more like Taylor Swift's. Hers are a little bit more pointy at the Cupid's bow and then tend to slope down, and then she has a big, nice, rounded bottom lip. So I'm just sort of following that line without trying to look crazy. And then it's a little crooked, so I go back in with a lip brush and my lipstick from Wet n Wild, the Fergie collection. And I'm just going to place that all over the lip. Super, super pretty color. And then I'm going to go in with the lip brush. And that just really finishes off the lip and gives you a nice defined look. This is the perfect thing to do when you're doing any sort of bright color. It just really helps pull everything together and make it look really nice. And if you want your lip to look extra defined, you can always go in with a concealer after. I like to try to not do that because I think that it can make your lip look really artificial. So if you're looking for a more natural look, I like to just try to define it as much as I can with my brush. Then finish off the look by misting your face away and you'll be instantly Taylorified. I don't know about you guys, but I am cray cray for Tay-Tay. So comment down below and tell me your favorite Taylor Swift look. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.